First off, I'm going to have to ask you to go and rate this show, maybe even leave a comment. And you could do that on iTunes or SoundCloud, and for Android users, you can now listen via Google Play. Now, this podcast may contain explicit content, just saying, so open your mind, relax, and listen to this dope-ass podcast.
Food for thought, coming fresh, I'm the chef. I got greens for your brain, have a taste, it's the best. Food for thought from the flesh, tag along on the quest to find more about something else. Hey, food for thought, coming fresh, I'm the chef. I got greens for your brain, have a taste, it's the best. Food for thought from the flesh, tag along on the quest.
People don't understand that, or they don't understand nothing.
Truth spilling, leaving victims to my honest ways. I come in peace like an alien from outer space. Internet pirates riding waves on your webpage. Download shit, click the link, press play. I don't mean to pray, but I pray every week for myself, for my fam, cause we all gotta eat. Protein, no more sweets. Till I'm caked up on the beach in Belize. Food for thought, coming fresh, I'm the chef. I got greens for your brain, have a taste, it's the best. Food for thought from the flesh, tag along on the quest to find more about something else. Wait, food for thought coming fresh, I'm the chef. I got greens for your brain, have a taste, it's the best. Food for thought from the flesh, tag along on the quest to find more about something else. Wait.
Yo, you listen to another episode of More About Something Else. My name is Joshua. And, I just want to say thank you to any and everybody that's been rocking with this show since day one. I really do appreciate it. We're still going strong. But yeah, man, it's been snowing in Houston and it's cold. They shut down all of Houston pretty much on Tuesday. And, niggas was still going to work. I guess there was traffic on one of the major highways. So everybody started turning around on the actual highway, like causing more traffic. Like, down south, we really don't know how to deal with stuff like this, right? So, that's all happening. And, there was a total, I think, like, just down south by itself, there was 10 deaths, right? There was 200 car wrecks, or I can say 200 plus because there was obviously more. Niggas were still going to work. We knew about this, One thing that, like, pissed me off, like my boss, she texted me and she said, are you still coming to work? Or do you have a safe route to work? Just the question of that shouldn't even come out your mouth, and like they've closed down roads or anything, right? So yeah, like I don't know, it just that pissed me off because you shouldn't be asking me that. I'm not about to slide down the fucking road just to get to work. Like no money is important to me to risk my life or risk my car just so I can get to work to satisfy your business. Fuck you. But gladly, like the ice is melted. We see the sun a little bit. It's kind of chilly outside. Actually, it feels good to me, but I just don't want to get too used to this weather. And then, this is Texas. It gets hot. Like I don't want to start complaining. But, the weather is kind of funky. You look at these things and you're just like, well, what's going on with the weather? It's kind of weird what's going on. Like, it just never got this cold before. I think it was 19 degrees. I think that's the coldest it's ever been. I may be wrong, but, things like that has been going on. And, niggas up north are talking about, oh, we get that all the time. Ha, ha, ha. Okay. Like, I understand that you get it all the time, but we don't. Like, we're not used to this. Literally, in Texas, we have hot summers and hot winters. Like, there's no in between. We usually skip winter every single year. This is once in a lifetime thing. And you know what's crazy? All this global warming, we got the president talking about, oh, it's cold and all this stuff. And this is what global warming, this is the guys that were talking about global warming. Come on, guys. Like, seriously, global warming doesn't mean just the earth warming up. I don't know. Like, you just can't be that stupid. But, we can't really give this guy too much credit when it comes to stupidity. Like, he does this shit to himself, right? So, that's been going on. Besides that, we're just thinking about 2018. We're about to end January. So, I would hope that y'all are still doing these things that you wanted to do or these resolutions. I told you, like I said, I don't really believe in them. But I'm just saying, like, I hope that you're doing these things that you said that you were going to do, meaning that you're going to commit to it, meaning that you're going to be consistent. But I don't know, like at the end of the day, it's for you, and I can't say much more about it. But to get into why you're mad, and I'm not really mad about it, but like it's just things that went on that, like let's just say that it kind of bothered me in some sense, right? So how the president, he comes out and he's like, oh, well, he's talking about all these shithole countries, Okay, like, yeah, he said it. But how much credit are we going to give this guy? Like, we know he's not like Obama. We know that. We know he's not like any other president. Literally, dude says every and anything off his head. Like, literally, he's freestyling every time he goes up on the mic. Literally. We know that there's something wrong with him to where he doesn't know how to be politically correct. We know that. We know that he has certain views that don't really align with the American dream or just being an American, right? We know that. Why do people react to whenever he says something? Why does it bother you so much? Somebody that has no meaning towards your life, that really can't affect your life. I don't know. Like, to me, I don't feel like Agent Orange can do anything to me. I mean, besides the government tapping into my shit. But I don't think that anything can really happen in this point. I don't care about his views. His views don't mean shit to me. And now everybody's doing their think pieces on, I have 3 degrees. I have a job with one of the top 10 businesses. Just the shit like that. And everybody's talking about what they've achieved. We know that minorities are the foundation of this country. We know that the minorities are the ones that strive the most in this nation. We know that. So why do you have to prove that? Who are you proving it to? That's my whole thing. Like, granted, like, honestly, homeboy should have never said that. But why does it bother you so much to where you have to let people know what you've achieved? And people will say, yeah, you have to work twice as hard to get what white people are easily handed to. That's true. But we don't need to get all upset. We don't need to get on CNN and start talking about shit like this. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect your life what the president has to say with his own views, because obviously it's his own views. Obviously we all view things differently. But I'm just saying that to say, like, stop giving people things to talk about that we don't really need to be talking about, right? Second thing I could say, we got this H&M issue, like, niggas is still talking about it. Grant, like, I already said this shit, like, blame the parents, don't blame nobody else. We could have all avoided this shit if the parents never said, A-okay. The parents come out and they say, oh, well, I've experienced racism too. We don't give a fuck, right? And that's one issue of its own. But when it comes down to, like I said, I think in the previous episode, why are you going to the stores and acting the ass? Like, you acting like actual monkeys. Like, it doesn't like, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to go trash a store. It doesn't make any sense to go cause harm to the employees. Look, they just had to close down a bunch of H&M stores in South Africa. You just had to, these are people's jobs that you're playing with because you're upset because of a simple word that doesn't mean nothing. You know damn well we don't look like monkeys. You know that. Just because we're in Africa, it doesn't mean anything. But I can't really say too much about it because at this point I don't care, because y'all gonna do what y'all want to do. Y'all gonna say what y'all want to say. We don't need to see these think pieces. We don't need to see why you're mad about this. Like, we shouldn't even be talking about this anymore. But it's all to say, act your age. If you're upset about something, go the right route. I think the last thing that I'm, I guess you could say mad about is, there's this sorority girl in University of Alabama, and she's saying nigga, all that shit, nigga with the ER, like hard ER. When she's saying, run up on me, blah blah blah.
I wanted to be an Alpha Phi since I was fucking in high school, and nobody fucking understands how much I love Alpha Phi. And now someone wants to stake my finta because I said nigger. You know what? Nigger. No, I don't care if it's Martin Luther King Day. Nigger. I'm in the South now, bitch. So everyone can fuck off. I'm from New Jersey. So I can say nigger as much as I want. Nigger. And if anyone else wants to fucking snake me on my fucking finsta for saying nigger, I'm in a fur vest. I want you to buy my fucking fur vest. Cause fuck you. Go to Neiman Marcus and buy my fucking fur vest. Cause fuck you. If you fucking snake me to my fucking sorority, that means fucking everything to me. Because fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
I don't feel sorry for this girl. This girl got expelled once the video surfaced. Like, granted, I think she was drunk, but you know, they say a drunk man's words are a sober man's thoughts. They say that shit. Like, I think that's the saying. I don't know. But she was drunk, and you know, I kind of felt like she meant that shit. Like, she was really telling somebody to run up on her. And I think that they expelled her for her own safety, because you down south. You don't need to do all that. You're gonna get hurt if we don't expel you. And you know, she comes out sobbing and crying, talking about, I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. Why is it that every time somebody says something about something like politically or racial, and they know it's not the correct thing to say in the public, they just come out with these apologies saying, oh, I just didn't know, whatever. You know, you see that trend and you're just like, get the fuck out of here. I don't want to hear this shit. I really don't care if you have to say sorry because you already said it. Now, I mean, what goes from here? Can you even readmit into a school? I don't know, but you know, it serves her right. I do appreciate that she got expelled, because you know, let this be an example to each and every one of you that think that you're the exception. You are not the exception. But you know, that's why I'm mad. It's funny because you know, these things are going on, and I don't know, when I saw it, I laughed because I just said, oh, okay, like this ain't going far. But yeah, besides that, you know, just wanted to get into the sports real quick. Super Bowl is coming up. I just want to, you know, well, actually, if anybody wants to place any bets, you know, let me know. You know, go ahead and reach out to me, because I'm about that life, and I'm pretty good when it comes to picking my sports team to win, right? So, Jacksonville Jaguars, if nobody knows who they are, they're from Jacksonville. You know, one guy on the team, his name is Jalen Ramsey's. You know, the guy that y'all say he's kind of fruity or he's kind of sassiest NFL player, right? I like him because he's like the voice of the team. And I wouldn't be surprised if they end up beating the Patriots. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up going to the Super Bowl. Reason is, the coach that coaches the Jacksonville Jaguars beat the New England Patriots back-to-back. I think it was back-to-back. I don't know. I think it was back-to-back with the New York Giants. So it's kind of like, yo, I know how to beat y'all. Pretty much. That's on one side. I said that in the NFC, the Vikings, like, they got it. They got it all the way. And everybody's saying, well, no, like, we don't know what's going on. Maybe the Vikings, they're not going to. Granted, I thought that if New Orleans had beat the Vikings, then they would have won the Super Bowl. I just believe that from the jump. But like, as you can see, something bad happened. You know, Stephon Diggs caught that pass and he actually ran down. But all that to say, pay attention, because I'm right. I know that the Vikings, they're probably going to win the Super Bowl. I don't believe in the Patriots. I'm not going to lie to you. They got Tom Brady, the GOAT of all GOATs. If he wins again, I don't know. Like, he's got it. Like, you know what? He might as well retire. And I think like he wants to play until he's 45, which that's stupid, because it's just like, bro, just give it up. We understand. But, you know, besides that, you know, I could say, hey, like, just keep enjoying football while it lasts. And the one thing that rubs me the wrong way is that, you know, I'm from Houston, and, you know, Houston had the Super Bowl we had the Super Bowl hosted here in Houston last season. And, you know, the perfect thing would have been like, oh, Houston, we're hosting the Super Bowl and Houston is in the Super Bowl. Like, that would have been so surreal. But no, we can't get our shit together. Look, fucking Minnesota Vikings, they're hosting the Super Bowl. Just imagine if they have the Super Bowl there. They won. But I mean, I can't really get mad about that. You know, shit happens for a reason. Hopefully the next time the Super Bowl decides to come to Houston, hopefully the Texans got their shit together. That's all I can say about that. You know, I'm done talking about sports. But yeah, besides that, you know, I was thinking long and hard, right? And you know, one question came up to my head as I was thinking about this, and I was just like, because you think about character, right? You just think about it, like, or not even character. You just think about certain things that happen in your life. And, you know, I just want to throw this question out there. It's just like, what defines you? And do you have a defining moment in your life? And when I say what defines you, it's just like, we're talking about characteristics. We're talking about situations, reactions. Like, what do you do in certain situations? Are you a nice person? Are you cold-hearted? You know, do you let this one heartbreak determine the rest of your life. Just shit like that. And I was thinking about it because, we react off emotion a lot. There's this book, I think it's called Emotional Intelligence, stating that, not all decisions that you make in your life, you need to make with emotion. What's this white girl's name? Ellen DeGeneres. She makes her producers, she makes them meditate, Meditation is a form of thinking things through, basically. I can say that, like, it's thinking things through logically. Like, can you make a logical decision without adding emotion into it? And that's what it is. It's just like, that's what emotional intelligence has some part in just your everyday life. Like, whenever somebody pisses you off, you have the ability to be petty. You have the ability to hold a grudge. You have the ability to do all sorts of things. But the question is, what do you do next, right? So backtrack to just defining yourself. What do you do in certain situations that makes you who you are? Like, what makes you you? You have to figure that out before you can define yourself. Like, for myself, I could say that, I'm a nice person, but I'm very honest when it comes to certain things. People say, oh, well, you're mean. No, I'm not mean. I just don't see the point in holding back in certain situations. And I can say this with confidence because it doesn't really bother me. But some people say, oh, you need to have sympathy. No, you don't need to have sympathy. You need to have empathy. You need to be able to understand. I could say that, some shit happened in my family, and I could have went the wrong way. Countless times I have seen myself on my journey in life, and I could say that, I could be dead. I could be locked up. One of the two. Like, there's no in between. I could see that clearly. But time after time after time, things happen, and you just got to think about these things. Like, first of all, be grateful for where you are. But second of all, you need to realize why you went through those things. And everybody says, oh, things happen for a reason. Yeah, things happen for a reason, but things happen because you made that decision, 2 years ago that altered your path. Like, we don't think about things like that. We don't think about how the longevity of our decisions. And that's turns back into what defines you, because it's just like, now we're talking about decision making, right? Decision making is probably one of the most crucial things that we need to know how to decipher. We need to know how to analyze in our lifetime, because it's that, we have free will to do whatever we want to do, but are we doing it? Are we doing the right thing? Sometimes, no, we're not. We're really not. I can tell you for sure, I've made bad decisions that I'm probably still going to pay for. And, I'm up for it because I'm aware of it. Now it's just like, how am I going to react in these times of trouble? Or how am I going to react when certain things pop up out of nowhere? But then you can sooner or later just understand that stuff like this defines you. The trouble that you go through, like, a lot of people say, oh, like, you just don't understand how much I've been through in my life. Yeah, I don't understand. Make me understand by making the best decision in your life, coming out of this hardship. Just simple shit like that. Like, life is not easy. Let's be real. We know that it's not easy. We know that people love to use that excuse, but no, sometimes we're just not grateful when it comes to certain things. Like, I don't know, like, I've been doing a view of the world and humanity, and I've just been looking at world news, and I'm like, a part of me, I feel upset, because it's just like, like, we have it so good. We really have it so good. And it's crazy because not any other country is dealing with the things that we're dealing with. We're dealing with if the Wi-Fi cuts off, Like, we're so blessed to have everything here, and niggas are getting their houses blown up. And that's crazy because we don't care. We just don't. And it's sad to say, that things like this do occur. But it's also sad to say that, like, something happened in my life that changed my life for the rest of my life and whatever. Niggas don't have homes. Niggas don't have food. And we sitting here complaining like this over some simple shit. And that's all that's what I have to say about that, because it's just like, man, look at the outside and look from the outside in and look into yourself, and just know that anything that you want in life is obtainable. It's achievable. It can be done. We've all seen it. There's a lot of people that's living testament. But it's up to you. Like I said, what defines you, and what is your defining moment in life? So Sam's Club did exactly what I said was going to happen last week. And if you haven't listened to last week's episode, look, all I said was that these companies are outsourcing, looking for cheaper ways to run their company, and they're outsourcing to technology and robots and whatever. So technically, they just want an online store, like, they're going to use the stores as a warehouse to store things so that you can come pick it up, whatever, just shit like that. And I don't know, I kind of noticed it, like, when I went to Sam's Club, like, you don't necessarily have to go to cashier anymore. You can use your app, pick up things, scan it, check out through your phone, and you can walk straight out. Like, it's that simple. They closed down 63 of them. 11,000 jobs have been lost. This is why I say do not count on man to give you money. Like, you should not count on anybody else. Like, this is sad from the aspect of losing your job. Like, these are people that need the money to do whatever, to live or whatever, you know? Like, I just don't think that it's fair because, you know, I was reading into it, watching some interviews, and they're just like, yo, like, they will understand if it closed, but they didn't have no notice, no 1 day notice, no nothing. And that's where I'm just like, look, these companies don't give a fuck about you. Realize that you can be replaced in 2 weeks. It's that simple. Like, it's not nothing that goes on. You think that you're irreplaceable. You think that, oh, since I know so much about the company, since I've been here for so long, that they're going to treat me so well. No, they don't give a fuck. And, you know, that's the honest truth. It's a sad reality that things like this still goes on. And I just say to you guys, like, hey, like, start looking into what you want to look into. Like, when I say I'm like, look into your passion, what are you passionate about? Because shit like this happens, and then now you have to scramble and just figure out what you're going to do with yourselves, because, you know, you put so much into this company for them to just shut down on you like that. I had a similar experience. I bartended at this restaurant, and, you know, I just noticed I noticed a bunch of things. Like, they were sending us fake food, the fake condiments. Things weren't getting fixed, and I noticed it. Even, like, the health inspector came, and, like, he came, like, the next day, just trying to get it closed down that way, and it never really happened. And I kind of knew, like, I knew in advance, like, somebody told me that, hey, they're closing this location down, and I was just like, oh, okay. But I didn't really say anything about it because I wasn't too sure. You know, I pressed my managers about it, and they were just like, nah, we don't know anything about that. I'm just like, oh, okay, whatever. So I pull up one day because they said, oh, we have a mandatory meeting. Come to find out, oh, yeah, we're closing down this location because, you know, it's not making any money. People were crying because it was just like, yo, like, this is the only job that I have. You know, just even like they try to transfer people to the other location, and it just wasn't working out. Like, it just wasn't. It wasn't working out at all for them. And they said that location is like 40 minutes, you know, a full tank of gas is going to take everything. I understand those situations, and, you know, it's sad. Like, it was sad seeing people upset, and it sucks because things like this happens all the time in different places. And I don't know, like, it's just like, you just really have to think about what it is you're doing. Like, you can't be on the systematic thinking. Yes, you have a job, but just know that this job ain't safe. And, you know, I mean, these old folks say get you a good job with benefits, but what happens when that job closes down? I mean, what is your work then? Especially when it's people that don't have like a college degree or don't have any practical skills, like just shit like that. That's even worse. Because then it's just like, now you're scrambling for a job that might not even pay you that much. But I don't know, like, let this be noted as a lesson to people when I say, don't be afraid to go out on a limb and do something that you love. Because like I said, these companies don't care about you. Like, I keep telling you guys about my mom. She had a stroke, and, you know, they're asking her when she's coming back to work. Like, literally 2 days after, they asked when she come back to work. That shouldn't mean something to you guys. Because it means something to me. And it's just sickening that, you know, people don't understand when it comes to a business. Like, I understand, yeah, a business still needs to run, but yo, like, just appreciate the people just appreciate your employees, you know? But I don't know. Say, man, if you really like the show, and I assume that you like it because you're still listening to the show, but if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And if you are subscribed, please, you know, write us a review. You know, it helps people find the show, for one, and it also gives people an idea of what's going on in the show without actually listening. So, you know, it attracts other people, and I'm just asking, you know, if you don't want to, it's cool. If you do, God bless you. Now back to the show. Look, you guys need to stop talking about people becoming president, all right? I'm only saying this to say, Oprah does not need to be our president. And, you know, I can say this with full confidence that I don't believe that she will be a good president. And, you'll say, well, Josh, we have Agent Orange in office right now, and he has no political background. Yes, we know that. And you see what happens when you don't have any political background. Like, stop saying, oh, Michelle Obama needs to run for president. She's not going to make a good president. Granted, does she care about being a president? Oprah, like, I don't know what qualifies her to be president. And I'm just saying it. I'm not saying it to be mean. I'm just saying it like, you see what happens when we let somebody in with no political background. Or people say, oh, well, we're tired of these political people and they lie to us and whatever. Yes, they do. But just know what comes with the territory. You see what's happening right now. You see the lengths of how he had to go out his way to humiliate people and just bringing down Hillary. Well, granted, Hillary lost by herself, you know, like she got too cocky. But still, like, just know that literally people were dropping out in the Republican Party as they were going, trying to get nominated to represent the party. And Donald Trump was knocking them out each one by one. Bow, bow, bow. And like that was his tactic. Like, it's a good tactic, you know, it's Machiavellian, but like still, I'm just saying, like, I just don't think Oprah will make a good president. And I can go out on a limb and say, I don't think Joe Biden will be a good president either, because if Joe Biden was so good, then why wasn't he president instead of vice president? You know, a number 2 is always great to a number 1, but when that number 2 takes that number 1 spot, is he so great? I don't know if that makes sense to y'all, but it makes sense. And I'm just saying, like, yo, like, we don't need Oprah in office. I'm going to say that again. Like, it's not going to do anything for us. What is Oprah going to do for you? Is it because she gives all this free shit? Is it because she has her own network? Is it because everybody loves her? Yes, everybody loves her. Everybody loves Obama, but y'all still scrutinize him for shit that he does. I guarantee it that shit won't get done the way you want it to get done because you think that, oh, we have a black woman in office. No, I don't think it's going to work like that. And these are my own thoughts, you know. It's my own opinion. I just don't see the logic in it. But if y'all want Oprah to run, Oprah 2020, okay, do you, boo boo. And just to segue into like just shit that Oprah does. I don't know, like I don't know why I have this certain feeling about Oprah. Like I don't know, it's kind of an off feeling about her, right? Granted, you know, she's a really I can't even talk about her because I don't know her. But like, you know, I used to watch the Oprah show. You know, it was some good shit. Oprah is probably one of the best interviewers ever. And, you know, that's a good thing. It's a pro, but I don't know. Like, you know, I just want to segue into like something else that, you know, Oprah endorsed that I don't agree with in such form or fashion. So, you know, Oprah has her book club and everything, right? We're in this era of feeling good, right? We're in this era of if you see it, then it's there, you know, then you have it, right? Oprah endorsed 2 books, right? And I can say for sure that these are 2 books that I don't know. I read them. I tried. Well, at least I read them. I tried to read them. And I just couldn't get down with it. 2 books that I'm talking about, Think and Grow Rich and The Secret. And I don't know. These are 2 books very similar. Very, very similar. The Secret, it just talks about having a vision board and whatnot. You know, if you see it, then you have it. Think and Grow Rich is the same thing pretty much, except the vision board. And Oprah endorsed these things. And, you know, I think she said that she read it 12 times or whatever. I think it's stuff like this that, like Think and Grow Rich and The Secret, like, well, not even The Secret, Think and Grow Rich, it might be a good book to the standpoint where you are like stable in some form or fashion. And, you know, there's a slight margin of those people that actually do make progress in their lives off of these 2 books. But what about the rest of the people? Like, just because somebody says something is good doesn't mean it's good, right? You know, we look at these places, we look at the reviews of something, and there's that one bad review, or even like there's a bunch of reviews that's bad, and you're just, well, people saying that it's not good, then I guess it's not good. Well, how do you know? Right? These are based off of people's bad experiences. And I'm just saying this to say, like, you know, we endorse things and we don't know where to go from there in that standpoint. Like, I feel like these 2 books are for people that actually are stable in their money. Like, these are for millionaires and whatnot. That's just my personal belief. It's just like Diddy tweeting, be a mogul today. Nigga, I don't have no money to be a mogul. Like, money makes the world go around. We all know that. Like, just in situations where we want to position ourselves, right? Or just be in the same standpoint as Diddy. Like, Diddy makes tweets for rich people. I can say that for a fact because it's just like, nigga, nobody can do certain things that you're doing. Nobody can do certain things that you say. It's like that, you know? The only reason why I'm bringing this up, right, I think it's because, I don't know, like, we need to get out of this. We need to get out of this. If you speak it into existence, then it's going to happen. We need to get out of that mindset. We need to get out of all you had to do is think about things and things will come to you. You know, I can say for sure that, you know, we say this vision board. I don't know. The concept of the vision board, I don't know. I don't really agree with it because it's things that you see. Look, I'm Bible based, and it says in the Bible, hey, I gave you vision, not sight. Sight is to see, but vision is to look ahead. And I'm saying this to say that, you know, this vision board, you know, you're envisioning it, but I feel like people are just looking at it. They're not envisioning it. So I don't know, like that whole concept is like, it's dead to me because I don't need pictures to tell me that I'm going to make it in life, that I'm going to obtain these things. Like for me, I'm a visual person. Also, I listen, but when it comes to visual, I write shit down. Like I'm very, very good when it comes to writing shit down that I want, things that I want to profess into my life. That works. I have 3 notebooks right now in front of me, and they're all filled with shit that I want, things that happen, my thoughts and whatever. And I feel like these work better for me. And, you know, it might not work for everybody, but you you write down something, you commit to it, so shall it be. And like I said, look, like, I'm not trying to talk down on nobody for doing a vision board. I'm not trying to talk down on people for speaking things into existence, but the key word that I want you guys to realize is that you need work. You need to work for that shit. Things are not going to be handed to you. Grant, the universe is supposed to bend to your will, but it's not going to be handed to you. It's not that simple. So as I was thinking about stuff like this, or, you know, just trying to put things together when I was doing this episode and just like creating my notes, I was just thinking about, hey, like, you know, we stray to certain things like this because we want these things. But some of us, or most of us, lack motivation. And I always told myself that, you know, if there's anything that I wanted in my life, that I'm going to motivate myself. I don't need to look outside for motivation. Because at the end of the day, like, it's me that has to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to go to the gym. It's nobody else. And I'm saying this with confidence because I know that, look, like, I was just talking about this yesterday. Like, I need to do better in the gym, you know. Granted, like, I work out hard, like, and I've seen results. Like, look, hey, side note, just wait for this transformation day. Y'all gonna be like, damn. But yeah, like, I work so hard in the gym, but like, are you working harder? You know, like, it's to the point where it's just like, I need to push myself to work harder because I want something. And that's just me motivating myself, you know, because I see an end goal. But at the end of the day, like, I'm appreciating the process because I love the feeling of telling myself that pain is temporary, that just push through, get this last set in, get this last rep in. And, you know, I was looking at it and I was just doing my research about just motivation in general. I was just like, what spikes motivation, right? And they say it's dopamine in the brain and the cerebral cortex. You know, they said dopamine dealt with pleasure, but there's also studies saying that no, it just deals with motivation and what you want, you know. When you set goals for yourself, when you set little deadlines or whatever, and you accomplish that, you know, you're just a little bit more motivated, right? But then I looked at it and I was just like, well, what stops us from being motivated? And, you know, there's this analogy, right? I can say, well, if I was going to give you $100 a day, or you can take $600 in 6 months, which one would you pick? You'll pick $100 because it's right then. We don't want to wait for things. We want that instant gratification. Like, that's all we want. Like, we want it right now. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you need to put in that work. You don't deserve it right now. But then it's just like, it's called temporal discounting. Like, we're willing to discount and put a lower value on things just to have it right now. And you know, that's sad. It is sad that stuff like this happens, that we are willing to go and lower certain values in our life just so that we can reach that goal. No, like, when you reach that goal, man, satisfaction that like, is on 10. Like, I can tell you, like, when I finish something, I feel so good. But just know that I was tempted to make shortcuts. Just know that I could have got somebody else to do it, or I could have went another route and did it. Like, things are not easy. They will never be easy. But if you do that work, like that real work, to get where you want to be, yo, you got it then. You know, before I want to wrap up, you know, I just want to say shout out to Puerto Rico. You know, they just got electricity. After 112 days, they just got electricity. And, you know, like I said, you just can't be more grateful for the things that you do have and, you know, just what's accessible to you. But yeah, like I said, you know, I go to the gym a lot and, you know, I see the same people over and over again. I see people overweight. I see people underweight. I see people who are in shape, but they're just doing the damn thing. And, you know, that's good. Like, that people are consistent. And I don't understand why certain people don't work out and don't just get just a little bit physical active. Like, nothing serious. Even a walk. Like, I tell people that want to lose weight, very simple. Just go on a walk. You know, the campaign, you know, Jared from Subway, he, like, you know how they show how fat he was and whatnot? Yo, they don't tell you that Jared walked 2 miles to Subway and walked back 2 miles every day. They don't tell you that. I'm just saying, look, like, it's that simple. I just don't understand the psyche when people say, oh, I can't work out or working out's not for me. You can literally do things in a different form. You don't necessarily have to be as intense. Niggas get on Instagram and be like, oh, body goals. Shut your ass up. You're not doing nothing to do nothing about it. Like, I don't understand that. But, I mean, it's just to say, look, like, if you want to get the right body structure and you want to be physically active, do what you have to do. You don't need a gym membership to get active. You don't need a gym membership to get fit. Literally, you can do things on your own. All right. So I could say, for words of wisdom, I was talking to this guy at my job randomly. We were talking about food. I think that was like the end result on what we were talking about was food. And we were talking about, you know, how it's bad to use the microwave. We're talking about how it's bad to skip steps when it comes to cooking and whatnot. And, you know, one thing that he told me, he was just like, you know, there's this thing, it's called 5 Ps. And it actually said it was the 5 Ps of success. And he was using it in the analogy of just cooking food. But, you know, I took it as, you know, this is something that I can use in my life. But he said it's called the 5 Ps. The 5 Ps of success. It's called proper planning prevents poor performance. Yeah, like, I think this goes back to everything that I said, you know? Hey, look, plan your life the right way, do things without taking shortcuts, and it prevents poor performance. It's that simple. But hey, who am I? You know, I'm just a regular person. Hopefully you enjoyed this show. Hey, hopefully you enjoyed this show. Please, hey, go check out the website, moreaboutsomethingelse.com. If you like it, tell a friend, tell that other friend. Please, comment, review, like, share on iTunes, SoundCloud. Do whatever you gotta do. But my name is Joshua, and I'm out.
Hey, man, fuck all the bullshit. Ain't no rules to this shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Do what the fuck you want to do out here. If you want to go be a DJ, be a DJ. You want to strip, go strip, my nigga. Do what the fuck you want to do. Ain't no rules to this shit. We out here. Stay determined, beloved.